Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with all the players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. One player that's linked day after day after day after day is Karim Benzema. And Spanish newspaper AS have gone big today on their front page of their newspaper with this story. El Arsenal quiere a Benzema. My Spanish is not very good, so please forgive me. Basically, it translates as Arsenal want Benzema. Now, the Spanish paper really sort of get stuck into it, really dig into the whole story, and try and, you know, make the case for this really happening. They say that Arsenal have got the funds to get this done. They claim that Arsenal have, you know, set aside 65 million euros, which basically equates to just over between 45 to 50 million pounds, and that they've set aside that money to get this deal done. And it also sort of goes on to make the case to sort of say that, listen, Real Madrid are not against selling Benzema if they get, you know, the right sort of money. Now, you know, it's gonna be, you know, I sound like a record repeating myself because I keep saying it over and over again. To get a deal done to sign a player of Karim Benzema's quality is going to be very, very difficult. The story does make quite a few assumptions in there. But this is the front page of a Spanish newspaper. And, you know, listen, the rumour just will not go away. The rumour is still out there. So obviously everybody in Spain's aware of it. Everyone in Madrid's aware of it. And it just won't go away. And the interesting thing about the story as well is that in the paper, they start to talk about what could the alternatives be to Benzema if they sold Benzema. They don't actually mention Royce. What a lot of people have suggested recently, they've said Marco Royce going to Madrid with possibly Benzema going out. They don't mention Royce at all because, as I said to you guys yesterday, Royce has already said he's not going anywhere. He's staying. He's 100% definitely staying at Borussia Dortmund. So it doesn't look like that could be something that would happen. But interestingly, they do make... or do put forward a couple of alternatives. Sergio Aguero is one that they put forward, but I don't think that Manchester City are going to sell. Manchester City do not have to sell Sergio Aguero, and why would they? I mean, you're going into a new season, you've got your best player. Why are you going to sell him? I know we've done it over the years, but that's when we've needed the dosh. But Manchester City most definitely don't need the dosh. They're backed by some of the richest people on the planet, so they don't have to sell Sergio Aguero. So I can't see that happening. They link Fernando Llorente. Can't see that. I can't see the Madrid fans being happy with getting rid of Benzema and replacing him with a 30-year-old Llorente. I know Llorente's Spanish, was a Spanish international, but I just can't see that happening. They also suggest a Spanish youth player being able to step up. It goes by the name of Borja Mayoral. He's only 18 years of age. He's one of their hottest prospects over there at Real Madrid. And they're saying that there's a possibility that he could kind of step into the breach. But again, I very much doubt that because, listen, they're going to be up against Barcelona, who won the treble last year. Remember Barcelona's front three. A front three of Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Now, they're not going to, you know, take out of their front three, which they got an excellent front three with Bale, with Ronaldo, with Benzema at the moment. They're going to replace Benzema with this Mayoral kid who's only 18 years of age. He's a great prospect. Seen some of his stuff. He's great for the future, but not right now. But the one that they do suggest, which is very interesting and could be a goer, is Alvaro Morata. Now, remember, Morata played for Real Madrid, one of those young players that was coming through the system, doing really, really well for Madrid, but just couldn't get a chance in the team. Remember, he was linked with Arsenal for ages. Left from Real Madrid, went and joined Juventus, had a great season for Juventus. Remember, I'm sure every Madrid fan will remember that it was Morata who scored that goal against them that knocked them out of the Champions League last year when they played. And, you know, that would be quite a popular one if they brought back Morata. Say they did sell Benzema and they brought back Morata and they had a front three of Morata with Bale on one side and Cristiano Ronaldo on the other side. Fans of Real Madrid might be okay with that because Morata, to quote the whole Harry Kane syndrome, is one of their own. And he is a very, very good player. And also, if you look at Juventus at the moment, they've just bought Dybala. They've just bought Mandzukic. So, again, it's going to be tough. Not saying that Morata won't play a lot, but it's going to be tough for Morata to feature regularly in that Juventus side. So that is an alternative there if Real Madrid did decide to sell Benzema to Arsenal. But by just looking at those targets, it just shows you that there are not those real world-class marquee strikers out there that are available at the moment. There's not a lot of them when you look at those targets that even Real Madrid may be considering. But it's going to rumble on. But very interesting that AS go with it on their front page today of the Sunday newspaper over there in Spain. Jose Marie Callejon has been linked with Arsenal for a couple of weeks now. He's another Spanish player who used to play for Real Madrid, actually, but now plays over in Italy for Napoli. He is a player that plays out wide predominantly, but can play as a, anywhere across that front three. We're being told now that Chelsea have now entered the race to sign him. So according to Tutor Sport over there, again in Italy, they're saying that it's Chelsea and Arsenal battling it out for his signature. Jose Callejon. Again, I don't know about this. Callejon to me is more of a winger than a striker. Yes, he can move into the middle and sort of play striker, but he's not an out-and-out striker that you would say that Arsenal would consider to bring in. But Callejon, we've been told that Chelsea and Arsenal, according to Tutor Sport, battling it out for his signature. Julian Draxler. Yes, you know him. Linked with him, we were a few years ago, very, very heavily. It looked like it could happen for 35 million, all fell through. Juventus was the place where we all been told he's going to sign for just about, I think it was about 16 million they offered Schalke for his services. Now, Schalke rejected Juventus's recent bid to sign Draxler. So, by the way, Juventus is buying a lot of players. But the Schalke boss is very interested. Schalke boss, Andre Breitner, he's come out, he's told the Bild newspaper over there in Germany, and these are his quotes. He said, I want to keep him 100%, but I don't know what will happen if we receive a brutal offer, right? And obviously a brutal offer is an offer that they can't refuse, a massive offer, in other words, for Julian Draxler. Draxler still available out there on the market. As I've asked before, is it worth taking a punt on Julian Draxler? We know about his injury record. The reason why I mentioned Draxler is because, all right, we look at the team. If we're going to play him as a winger, there's no point because there's just too much firepower that can play out on the flanks at the moment. However, we were being told when Arsene Wenger was looking at signing him before that Wenger was considering signing him to play him as a centre forward because he loves his direct running. He's a good finisher, good at taking on players, and would have offered something a bit different to Giroud. Has Wenger completely sort of, forgotten about that now and said, no, actually, no, I don't think that will work? I don't know, but if he was looking for a striker alternative, something different, Draxler maybe, brutal offer, maybe something in the 20 millions, maybe enough to tempt him away from Schalke. He is available. He is out there. Also today, very interestingly, we're being told that Barcelona, now they've got a massive and famed youth academy, which has produced, you know, you only got to look at some of the players they've produced over the years. Busquets, Messi, Pedro, you know, all these guys have come through their system and, you know, have gone on to be top class players. Now, we're being told with Barcelona that they need to offload 13 youth players this season. They've got too many players, a total of 35 youth players, and you're only allowed to have a squad of 22. So they've got to offload 13 youth players. So the rumours again have started today about Sergei Samper. Samper, holding midfielder. He's part of that Barcelona B team. And listen, we've already read the stories about his father getting in contact with Arsene Wenger or with the Arsenal team, you know, trying to persuade them to come in and sign his son. Samper wants regular football, wants to be playing at a higher level now. He's seen the success of Hector Bellerin. He's seen in the past players like Fabregas come to Arsenal, John Torrell, who's also come from that system. But they've got to offload 13 youth players. Now, obviously, you know, at Barcelona, they're not going to be looking to offload the best of those players in a hurry. I would have thought they want to keep the best of those youngsters there. But it is very interesting, and it does mean that if Arsenal did want to go back in and try and get a player of Sergei Samper's quality, he's there, he's available. They could make it happen. Again, we're not sure because we were being told that Arsenal sort of passed on that, but it's very interesting that if Arsenal do want to get Samper, again, another player that is available. Finally, this crazy story today I was reading. Not so much, this is not transfer related, but they was asking Roy Keane about who will challenge for the league. And this guy, it's a bit of a nut, I'll tell you. Roy Keane, I don't know, he's a bitter old man, and he's not even that old since he's left football. He did an article today. They asked him about who they think will win the league. He said he thinks Chelsea, fair play to him. You know, he said they're still, for him, the strongest team. He don't think Man United are good enough to win it. When asked about Arsenal, this is what he said, that Arsenal are more interested in taking selfies, admiring their six-packs and their haircuts. And that's why they won't win the league. What's it? I mean, what is this guy on? I mean, selfies, six-packs, you know, and hairstyles didn't stop them from winning back-to-back FA Cups. I mean, if he thinks that that is how unprofessional that Arsenal players are, that they're more interested in hairstyles, selfies. I mean, what? I mean, most of them Arsenal players ain't even got no, you know, unless he's going on about Giroud, about hairstyles. I mean, you know, come on, listen. Every single player in the Premier League, every team has got players with different hairstyles. You've seen every single player from every team take their top off, and you've seen that. I mean, this guy, he's such a dinosaur now. You know, he's such a sad bloke at the moment that I actually feel sorry for him. He used to be a very good player. He's flopped as a manager, and he just comes across as a bitter old man. And it's really, really, it's almost embarrassing every time he opens his mouth. But that's Roy Keane for you. More interested in selfies, six-packs and haircuts. Well, we'll find out today just how interested Arsenal players are in that. Because, of course, yes, Arsene Wenger goes head-to-head with Jose Mourinho, and we'd be hoping that he can get one over him and land a, well, not knockout blow, because it is only a friendly. But then, you know what, I was watching a game last night, the Super Cup, which is the equivalent to the German sort of Community Shield, where the winner of their sort of version of the FA Cup plays the winner of the Bundesliga. It was Bayern Munich versus Wolfsburg. Very competitive game. Very. Nicholas Bentner there turning up with a last-minute equaliser and then burying the winning penalty. Should we bring him back? But very competitive game. And I think today as well is going to be a very competitive game in the Community Shield. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Both teams are going to want to win. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And Roy Keane. Oh, he's done my head in, he has today. Let's get into some of your comments finally. JFR says, maybe I underestimate Arsenal's leverage in European football. But I just can't understand. He said, but I just can't see us grabbing Real Madrid's starting number 9, who is very settled in his position. He's one of the best players in Europe, and Madrid have no outright replacement for him. Morata, which I was suggesting earlier, maybe. He said, Madrid also have no purpose to sell. Hopefully, I'm underestimating Arsenal's transfer power here, but I just can't see it. Benzema has been my favourite striker since he first joined the French national team. I really like how he keeps his head down and gets the job done, a lot like Ozil. Also, he brings a lot more than just goals. He is very selfless and has produced a lot of assists for Madrid, and he's a top player. Shuab says Guardiola doesn't like Lewandowski type of strikers. He said you can see that with Ibrahimovic when he had him. And he said maybe Douglas Costa is there to replace him so that Muller can play up there. Goetze as a number 3 in that false number 9 position. I don't think that they're going to sell Lewandowski. You've got a little point there that it doesn't sort of, I don't know, Lewandowski doesn't strictly suit the style of play that Pep Guardiola likes to play, but he's a top player. I just can't see them selling him. TJ Gunch says Real Madrid by Royce. We get Benzema and then go in and get Draxler and Wanyama. That would be a perfect transfer window. Thoughts? Royce is not going anywhere. Draxler's available. I'd love Wanyama as a backup, but the likelihood of any of those happening, probably the Benzema one, probably depends on a lot of things, as we keep saying. Carlos Vasquez says Perez, who's obviously the owner of Real Madrid, or president, should I say, won't sell Benzema. He's one of Perez's favourite players at the club. We hear that a lot, that that Benzema is one of the president's favourite players. And if you're in Spanish football, if you're one of the favourite players of the president, you're kind of secure for a while. So let's see what happens with that. However, presidents, it's a hard one. If there's somebody better out there, the president might move him on. As I said, maybe the Morata thing might tempt him. Rainer there says, stop comparing every striker to Walcott. He's inconsistent. He's always hurt. You can't say we don't need another striker because we have Walcott. We all know he's just going to keep getting injured. Well, that's true. Injuries has blighted his career. If he can stay, injury-free, then he can definitely do damage at Arsenal. Definitely can score 20 goals in a season if he's injury-free. Neil Dylandia says, and he makes a comparison here. He says, Chelsea, Diego Costa, world class. Man City, Aguero, world class. Rooney at Manchester United, world class. Arsenal, question mark, question mark, question mark. He said, we definitely need a world-class striker, even if it's not Benzema or Lewandowski. If it's not Benzema or Lewandowski, who's it going to be? That's number 1, that's world-class. And also, I'm not, listen, I've said this before. As I said this to Tony the other night, the Chelsea fan. Why is Diego Costa world-class? Diego Costa, for me, is top striker. But he's never, ever done it on the international level. And playing for Spain, he's been a big flop so far. I know he had the injury, he was sort of coming back off of the World Cup, but he's not done it on the world stage. I think he's just below world class at the moment. He's getting there. Maybe if he has a good season at international level. But then I suppose I would have to admit that Diego Costa, Olivier Giroud, Costa is better. So I do see that gentleman's point. We do need a world-class striker. It would be brilliant if we could get one in. But who is that world-class striker going to be? If it's not Benzema, who out there can be that world-class striker? And that is the major question that Arsene Wenger, as the manager, has got to answer. That's what you get paid all that big money for. So anyway, looking forward to the big one today. If you're down there at the Community Shield, make sure you come and say hello. We're going to be interviewing fans throughout the day and also after the game. And if you haven't seen any of the build-up stuff, go and check out some of those videos. There's been some excellent stuff that we've done this week down there at Wembley. The brilliant stuff with Claude and Tony from 100% Chelsea channel. So check out any of that stuff. It's been really, really fun. Looking forward to the game today. Just fingers crossed that we can finally get one over Mourinho.